If you're a car enthusiast, then you probably understand the importance of individuality. When it comes to personalisation, there really are no limits. And the cheapest form of all, vinyl decals. But what if you wake up one morning and decide, I don't want a giant Union Jack up the side of my car anymore? How difficult is it to remove that vinyl, and will it damage the paint? Today we're going to find out, but first I need to wash it. Before you start messing with vinyl removal, you need to make sure your car's clean, or you risk scraping it with all the grit that's already in the car. So give me a minute, let me give it a quick wash and we'll get started. The paint is now cleaned, and as you can see I have parked it directly in the sun, and here's why. If your decals have been on your car for a long time, you're going to require a lot of heat to loosen them up and peel them off. Luckily though, these decals have only been on for about a year, so I'm hoping that just the heat of the sun will be enough to loosen them up and let me peel them off. A couple of other things we're going to need, so let me show you what we're using. Now there's all sorts of power tools you can use to remove decals these days. Not everyone's got them. The only tools I'll be using is this tool and this tool. Once I've peeled all the vinyl off, there's a high chance that we're going to have some residue left, some adhesive. I've got some Goo Gone and a cloth. Once we get all the goo off, then it's time for your choice of polish. And I would highly recommend going for a decent quality polish. I think I'll be going for the Ultimate Polish rather than the Ultimate Compound. This is a wee bit more abrasive, and I don't want to be abrasive with a brand new paint. So let us proceed with the removal. Finger at the ready. Now before we get stuck in and start ripping vinyl off, there's a couple of things to be aware of. Depending on the condition of the paint underneath and how long the vinyl's been on, you're going to have to take your time. A wise man once said, take your time to save time. I think that was me. The other thing is technique. You don't want to just rip the vinyl out the way, especially in old paint, and I'll show you why. I'll give you a demonstration. Let's pretend that this white sheet is the paint on your car. It's quite thin, okay? Let's pretend this bit of insulating tape is your vinyl graphic. If you're trying to peel it off and you pull out the way, you're also pulling the paint up the way as well. A much better solution would be to pull it as flat as possible back the way, reducing the risk of the paint lifting off the car. Okay, I think we're finally ready to get started. I'm going to start at this top point here and work my way down, just like gravity do the work. It doesn't really work that way, but I'll give it a shot. Now it is handy that you don't chew your nails before you do this. At least I've still got a bit of a nail, because all I'm going to do is get underneath this tip here and then start peeling it back. And as predicted, it's coming off nice and easily, but I am going to take my time. If this tears, then you have to grab another corner and start again. So nice and easy wins the day, or some other phrase that I'm not aware of. Don't know if you can see in the camera though, but we do have lines on the outside where the adhesive has just spilled onto the paint beyond the vinyl, and that's what we're going to have to use the Goo Gone to get rid of. Okay, let me proceed with the rest of this and we'll come back to the Goo Gone stage. Oh, the joys of YouTubing from your driveway. I'm sure it's just a passing shower. Yeah, it's starting to go off already. Look, blue sky. Okay, let me whip off the other side. Right, I'm going to let the sun do its job, dry off all these raindrops. Using Goo Gone over water is not a good idea, it just makes a mess. While I remember, this is quite an important point actually, should have probably said it at the start. If you've got bonnet stripes in your car, and minis love the bonnet stripes, sometimes they ceramic coat over the top of the stripes, like our last car. We had the stripes installed professionally and then they ceramic coated the whole car. Now if you peel the stickers off with the ceramic coat, you're going to leave an indent. So I would recommend getting that done professionally if you've had it ceramic coated. If you're confident enough to do ceramic coating yourself, you will need to ceramic coat the area that you've just peeled off. Just something worth noting. Right, as I say, once this dries, we'll get the Goo Gone and we'll get it cleaned up and then a final quick polish. Time for the Goo Gone. Hope I've got enough. Using two cloths. One to wipe it on, one to wipe it off. Karate Kid style. Otherwise you're just spreading it about. So the line starts there, that was the point of the vinyl, and it goes all the way down there. You don't need to use a whole lot of this stuff, it's only a very small line. Again, take your time and it will eventually come off. I can still see a line there, so I'm going to have to really work at this. I'm surprised at how thick that little line of adhesive is, but as I say, patience will get it done. So I'll bring you back when all of the adhesive is off and then give it a quick polish in those areas and that'll be us done. I'm not going to lie folks, that took a long time. However, our lovely Mini is back to its former unmolested beauty. Until my wife decides she wants bonnet stripes or flames or something. So a relatively simple job, but remember this car is pretty new, the paint is pretty strong. Older cars, it's going to be tougher to get the vinyl off if it's been on there a while. Now I was lucky, as I said before, I had the sun heating up the vinyl. You might have to use a heat gun or a hairdryer. I would opt for a hairdryer over a heat gun, just in case you don't want to set fire to anything. You should have plenty of heat from a hairdryer, to be honest. And if in doubt, get a professional to do it. If you've got any advice that you want to leave it in the comment section. Just to help other people, but that's how I do it. Works for me, bit time consuming. I suppose I could have used like acetone to get the gum off, but I don't want to risk it on a new paint job. Right, take care everyone. Something very special coming soon with the Mini, so stay tuned for that. Take care, bye.